Strange thing with those children that we never see, is it not? Harry and Meghan's children, of course, Prince Archie and Princess Lily. They decided to move to California, or wherever they want to call it, Montecito, simply because they didn't really want them to be in the public domain, in the public spotlight. That really was their remit, wasn't it? They were going to get away so that his children wouldn't have the same exposure as he had. And then, of course, he chucked all of that away, did they not, when they decided, that's right, to expose them to the world for money with that Netflix docu-series. You know, the one that's been seen by, well, literally everybody on the planet, according to the Netflix blurb. So much for protecting their privacy. But it's interesting because, as we know, Meghan Markle allegedly said she didn't care about titles. They meant nothing in that sit-down with Oprah Winfrey. Very clear about that. If you recall, she met celebrities all the time. Titles meant nothing. Then they spent the last few years battling on. First off, to have the christening over here in St. George's Chapel, and when that didn't work, pressurised His Majesty the King, making sure, of course, which would have been the right and correct protocol, that both his children would be given their correct titles, which are Prince Archie and Princess Lily. But now there's a bigger battle looming, and this time it's between Meghan and Harry, and once again, those children that we never see. As ever, let me explain. Morning, Neil Sean here, nice to see you. By the way, cast your mind back to 1965, because over here in the United Kingdom, today would be the very final day that you would see cigarette advertising on British television. Yes, they decided to ban it, and of course they found various ways, did they not? If you remember watching dramas and all sorts of stuff on television, what they did really was they just did close-ups, particularly on commercials, making sure that you still saw the cigarette packets, and people lit up indiscriminately during dramas, making, allegedly, smoking as cool as it always had been. Of course, now we know what we know in this particular remit. They were wise to ban it, were they not? Back as ever, though, to your breaking royal story of the day. Yes, things are really kicking off over in Montecito. This is because it's difficult, as I said. When two children have titles, you fought for them, you've demanded them almost. So what's the problem? Well, according to a very good source, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, it's interesting because, when you think about it, as now Archie's gearing up to go to school, finally, Meghan, apparently, according to that source, doesn't want him to be known as Prince Archie at school. However, Harry does. Now, hear me out on this because it's a very interesting debate. You see, what he believes, Prince Harry, is that, well, he doesn't want it to be a shock later when people refer to Archie as Prince Archie. And he has always been known, rightly so, as Prince Harry, right through, from going to kindergarten right through to the end of his school days. Yes, they called him Harry Wales, but the bottom line was, most of the time, all the teachers referred to him in the role of Prince Harry. Now, according to that source, Meghan doesn't believe in that, doesn't necessarily think it's correct at this point, and believes that title should be brought in later for their children, Archie and Lily. And this is causing something of a bit of a fraction. Now, you see, this is the problem, isn't it? You fight for these things, you demand them on the world stage, you make sure that they're on the royal website for everybody to see, but seemingly where it counts, where it matters, and possibly where it could do some good, they don't want to use them. As ever, it is a developing story, but I'd love to know, whose side are you on with this particular remit? Do you agree with Meghan that perhaps they shouldn't use titles? Or indeed, are you with Prince Harry? You fought for the titles, and rightly so, you should be allowed to use them. It is the correct procedure, or not. As ever, they are in line and succession to the throne, if you read everything in the royal history books. Who do you agree with? Bit of a debate, eh? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.